Justice League is finally here, guys, and I'm so excited to watch it. But before I do so, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a certain recap as to what we've been going throughout the whole entire DCEU, which is Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice, Suicide Squad, and none other than the wonderful Wonder Woman. So let's go ahead and do this because I'm so excited. I'm pumped. I'm ready to go. As you can tell, I'm dressed up as Batman, my favorite superhero. So let's do this thing, man, because yes, let's do this. Justice League, guys. Justice League.
So first on the list is Man of Steel.
So this movie has been directed by Zack Snyder. He's the one who introduced the DCEU to all of us, even though we've seen so many iconic DC movies before. But this one is one that started the whole shared universe within all these iconic superheroes that we know and love. So, and it stars Henry Cavill, Amy Adams, Michael Shannon, Kevin Costner, Diane Lane, Lawrence Fishburne, and Russell Crowe. And the composer is by Hans Zimmer, and I love his work. I mean, he does a great job into doing this movie. We all are familiar with John Williams' score back in the original Superman the movie back in the 1970s with Christopher Reeve. Great score. I really love that. It's one of my personal favorites. But the way that Hans Zimmer does the score in this movie, it does an awesome job. I mean, it really does bring the character of Superman back to the big screen and beginning this shared universe within the DCEU. And I love the first 20 minutes of the movie where we get a glimpse of Krypton for the very first time in a certain point of view. And I love the visualization. I love the action sequences in it and the character build-ups. I love Henry Cavill's Clark Kent, aka Kal-El, aka Superman. Amy Adams is Lois Lane. The love chemistry between the two, I wasn't really fond of it because I feel like it was a little bit too rushed, knowing that it is Clark and Lois. I wasn't really fond of it. It felt more of a Thor and Jane from the Marvel movies, and to where there was just no chemistry. I just didn't feel it, guys. And I love Kevin Costner and Diane Lane's performances in this movie, playing the Earth parents to Clark Kent. And I love Kevin Costner and how he tries to raise Clark Kent into being the hero, but yet not to having to reveal himself because the world will not know and fear because they don't understand as to who he is, where he comes from, and what his purpose is. And we get Michael Shannon's as General Zod in this movie, and I love his performance as General Zod. He does great. He does a very villainous type of character. He does great. I love the fight sequences that they have in this. It's huge, it's massive, it's destructive. People complained about all that. To be honest with you, this is called Man of Steel, not Superman, so we're still dealing with the buildup of this iconic superhero. It's going to be more than just one movie to make this hero to becoming the actual hero that we know and love. And on Rotten Tomatoes, they rated this a 55%, and me personally, I picked it up to an 81% because it's such an awesome movie. At first, I wasn't really fond of it, but I grew to love it. It's really great. It's really awesome. It's a great starter up to the shared universe. I'm really looking forward to see where they go from here after the whole events of Justice League. So I'm really excited. So on to the next film, you guys, because I'm really excited about this.
Up next is Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice.
Zack Snyder returns to making the second DCEU film. It stars, of course, Henry Cavill, Ben Affleck playing Batman, Amy Adams, Jesse Eisenberg, Jeremy Irons, Gal Gadot, Lawrence Fishburne, Diane Lane, and it's composed by, of course, returning Hans Zimmer and a little bit of Junkie XL in it. And I love Ben Affleck's performance. I didn't like him at first being casted for the choice, but after when I saw what he did in this movie, I was all thumbs up for him. He did a great job. You know, I was really happy that we still get the iconic superhero being portrayed by a very professional actor like Ben Affleck. So really great. I'm really happy for him doing such a great job in this movie. He's one of the pluses. And I love that at the beginning of this movie where we do get, of course, we all know his story. His parents get killed in an alley, but there's such a significant importance to that scene that brings out into this movie. And then after that, we get the fact that after the events of Man of Steel, where we get the whole demolishing between hero and villain within the city of Metropolis, Batman was actually around in that area, and trying to do what he does, being the hero, even though he's not wearing the traditional cape and cowl and running around during the daytime as Bruce Wayne. So I really did love that scene. Great scene. It's one of the scenes that really got me anticipated and having to see what that was going to bring into the movie. And I love Henry Cavill's returning performance as Superman. Does a great job with it. Jeremy Irons as Alfred. I mean, there's so many different resemblances of actors portraying Alfred, but I think Jeremy Irons is a perfect casting choice and does a great job playing the character. Jesse Eisenberg, of course, no. I did not like the casting choice, and so many people did not, so many of them did not, and I'm really hoping that they really do recast him, because he is not the Lex Luthor that we want. I mean, I don't know what it was that they saw in Jesse Eisenberg portraying this character, but we wanted a really great, iconic remembrance of Lex Luthor that we remember from the comic books. So, and Jesse Eisenberg did not do that at all whatsoever. I love the new bat suit, you know, and I love the Batmobile sequence. It's so amazing, such an awesome scene. And even when Batman fights all these thugs in a warehouse, such a great scene also. And I love how we get to see these two iconic superheroes for the very first time clashing at each other on the big screen. Such an amazing scene, even though it's only a minimal part of the film, but it's such an awesome movie to watch. It got me jumping out of my seat and just so happy and excited for having to see these two fight to the death. The thing that really broke them apart, of course, it's a spoiler alert for you guys, is the whole Martha sequence. A lot of people didn't like the fact of using both of their mothers having the same name. So if nobody understands that, I mean, it's very interesting, you know. It's just the fact that these two are superheroes and that they both have a they're both on the same side. So really, I know a lot of people didn't catch on to that, but it's something that brought to my attention. I really did love it a lot. So it was, if you guys have any questions, comments, complaints, or concerns regarding towards the whole Martha sequence, you can always comment in the section down below, and we'll have an awesome conversation about that to give you more of a descriptive example as to why I am all for the whole Martha scene. And I love the whole thing of Doomsday being in the movie. Of course, he is the character who brings Superman to his death, and I think that there brings a very great importance of that to let the whole world know that he is the iconic superhero who wants to do good for the world and not bad. After having what he has been doing destructive damage while he's trying to save the world. And I love on how the Trinity forms together. We get the first time ever on the big screen Gal Gadot playing Wonder Woman. Such an amazing performance, even though she's in the movie very, very small, but yet it's such an amazing scene. I really did enjoy that. And I'm really looking forward to see what happens in the Justice League, because this is a post-movie towards that movie, and you know, it's just so exciting. It really does build up a lot of anticipation to see what's to come in the DCEU universe. So on Rotten Tomatoes, they rated this very, very low to a 27%. I am not all up for that. I really do disagree with that percentage. So on my percentage, Awesome Joe, 69%. That's my rating towards it. It's not good, it's not bad, but it's just the right amount of perfect. So that's my rating for Batman vs. Superman, and now on to the next movie, you guys.
Next up on the list is Suicide Squad.
This movie is directed by David Ayer, and it stars Will Smith, Margot Robbie, Jared Leto, Jai Courtney, Viola Davis, and Jay Hernandez. Then there's several others within the movie that not really important, but you know, they're part of the cast. So starting off with Will Smith, of course we all know who Will Smith is, and he's always got to be on the spotlight. And I think that he did an alright job playing Deadshot. I think it was okay. Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. That is an amazing performance. This is the character that everyone has been waiting for on the big screen. You know, we got Wonder Woman's first appearance, and now we get Harley Quinn's first appearance, and we love the imagery. We love the chemistry that there is between Harley Quinn and the Joker. Speaking of the Joker, played by Jared Leto, not a really good performance. I did not like it. I'm not comparing his performance comparing to Heath Ledger's. No, I am not. I just did not like it, nor did I like the visuals, the costume, the makeup, all that stuff. I didn't like it at all. I really did. I didn't like the whole tattoo thing. I understand where they were going for, but it just didn't work, and I know that it didn't work to a lot of other viewers and fans. So from what I know, they're going to go ahead and recast that actor to play the Joker and probably change the appearances as well in future either Suicide Squad movies or Batman flicks. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to be doing with that character in the future. And I love all the music that's in this movie. I mean, you got like songs like with Bohemian Rhapsody, Seven Nation Army, Fortunate Son, Dirty Deeds, Super Freak, Paranoid, and so many others. It really does bring out the film and just giving you a whole lot of fun in this movie. So it's a great flick. You know, there have been several errors within the whole movie. You know, it's not the best, but it's not the worst either. It's more of the worst within the whole. It is the worst in the whole DCEU franchise. Like for example, the villain, Enchantress, not a perfect villain, not a suitable character to play in this movie, especially having it to be its very first of very many great characters coming together in this movie. So it wasn't really that great. I think they could have gone better with a better iconic villain, so that it'll build a lot of anticipation for viewers wanting to see this movie more than usual. And Batman in this movie, he's only in there for at least 5-10% of the time, and I mean, it's enough time because it's not a Batman movie. It's related towards all these supervillains coming together, obligated to save the world and so on and so forth. You know, the typical, you know, villain wanting to take over the world. Now it's up to these guys to save the planet and stuff like that. You know, the traditional stuff. It's not anything out of the ordinary. On Rotten Tomatoes, they rated it at 26%. It is the cheapest movie throughout the whole shared universe, but me, on my case, I give it a 56% because I'm not very fond of the flick. I'm really excited to see what they're going to do in the second movie, but otherwise, that's my rating for Suicide Squad. I'm sorry, you guys. I mean, it's okay, but it's not that, you know, it's not that awesome either. So that's my rating for that. What do you guys think? Comment in the section down below, and we can have an awesome conversation about it, you guys.
And last but not least, the iconic Wonder Woman.
Now, this is the movie that really turned the tables around for the whole DC Extended Universe. Directed by Patty Jenkins, and of course it stars Gal Gadot, Chris Pine, Connie Nielsen, Robin Wright, Danny Houston, David Thewlis, and Elena Anaya. I think that's how you pronounce her name. And it's composed by Rupert Gregson Williams. And I really did admire the music within the movie because it's such a great aspect having to see this iconic superhero for the very first time on the big screen. You know, even though we saw her first performances on Batman vs Superman, but her having her own first film was so great when she first appears out in the fight sequence on No Man's Land. Such an amazing, iconic scene. You know, it really does build up the anticipation in you and having to wanting to see more and see where this character is going to take you towards. This is the one that really is one of the best DCEU movies ever since The Dark Knight back in 2008. It's not the best over The Dark Knight. The Dark Knight's still one of the best, but Wonder Woman really does beat up to the same level as that movie. And I love the visualizations of Themyscira, you know, the Amazon island, to where all these women were Diana first originated from, Wonder Woman. And I really do love that she has a certain meaning to her existence, and it's being kept from her, and it's revealed at the end of the movie as to seeing what her rightful place in the world is, and to see what she can do for the people of mankind. And I love how she is introduced to this other character, Chris Pine, who plays the Steve Trevor, and I really do love the chemistry, the love chemistry between the two. You know, it's it's a lot. There's a lot of humor in it. It's so great, so awesome, and I really do love the iconic line, the whole meaning of this movie, which they say the phrase, "It's not what it's not what they deserve, it's what you believe in." So I really do love that line. It really does give you a really huge loving for this film. So, and on Rotten Tomatoes, they rated it a 92%, and for me, I give it a 90%. So it pretty much is on the same level terms. So those are my reviews for the DCEU. What do you guys think? If you guys have your own personal opinions about these movies, go ahead and comment in the section down below, and we'll have an awesome conversation regarding towards all of these movies. But otherwise, I'm Awesome Joe, you guys, and as always, stay awesome. Thanks, guys. I'll see you guys in the next video. Stay tuned for the Justice League's non-spoilers review coming very soon. Thanks, guys. Bye.